Okay, another beautiful day in the Northwest. This is one of the really nice hiking trails in our area. It's newer. It's McKenzie Natural Area on the north side of Newman Lake. Just going through, taking the dog for a little stretch. This park is nice because you park at the trailhead and you can do about a 1.5 mile trail walk into the lake along this trail. Then to finish, you can go from the lake back along just a old gravel road, but it's a nice little walk coming back up. On the way in, you're going up and down this hillside, following this ridge. And I can't really show you too well, but Mount Spokane's through the poke in the hole trees there. But it's well marked. Usually there's about 4 or 5 cars in the parking lot, so it's busy enough that you're not out here by yourself if you're going solo, which is nice. Seen a good handful of deer. Oh, there's my hike companion, Coco, the guard dog. Yes, you good dog. But like I said, just a pretty trail. The thing I like about it is just trail as opposed to a road. And it's really green. I started filming in the more dry part, but on this end of the trail, though it's a little bit more dry, you can see a little bit further. So I don't know if you can see through the trees there, but that's the southern end of Newman Lake, straight in the center of the picture, and then Mike Peak in the background there. It's always easy to tell. There's a big radar ball on top of it, so it's a good landmark in the Spokane area. I've seen quite a few deer out here. Like I said, it's just kind of open air. You can see quite a ways through this area. And you'll see through the trees. We'll get a little closer to the lake where I can kind of get a picture of the lake for you guys. But there's the northern end of Newman Lake kind of peeking through the trees there. So, like I said, just a nice spot to get away, take a breath, fresh air, enjoy what God's given to us. I will say Spokane has done a good job, or Spokane County's done a good job putting together these kinds of parks. There's been a new one about at least every 5 years. And some of them have some pretty fantastic trails. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. It's close to home. And it's the right length. It's not too long, not too short. And then around this corner, I think we'll be able to take a look at the lake a little bit better. Give you a little bit better poke through the woods. I'll keep on walking to the next kind of spot. So again, we're looking at the northern tip of Newman Lake there. Pretty good sized lake, between Liberty Lake, Newman Lake, and Hauser Lake. Newman's the largest, the longest. It's a pretty good drive back in here. The trailhead is on the southern, I guess, southwestern corner of the lake. No, I'm sorry, northwestern corner of the lake. You can drive around either side of the lake. I typically go around one side to get here and then go around the other side to go back towards home. So it makes a nice loop of a drive also, and it's a pretty drive. Not a lot of traffic, pretty safe. Watch out for people bicycling or walking on the road. There is no sidewalk, so that's probably the only thing to be cognizant of, the speed limit, and be conscious of others. Share, as they say. So you can see a little bit more of the lake poking through the trees there. Mountains in the background. If I get down further, we might be able to see Mount Spokane Peak, but I don't know if I can from this angle. We'll just keep on cruising here. Mountain flora. On these videos, if you guys want to comment, I tend to go my own speed, and I'm kind of learning as I go. Started these about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, and kind of lost interest more than anything. But realized that you get to see a lot of beautiful spots. The world doesn't get to see those spots, so this is a way to share. And I think it's probably smart. Share your experiences. YouTube still got a couple good positives. That's one of them. Like I had mentioned, the trail is well marked. Whenever you come to a cross or a corner where it might be a question, they've put these markers to say, hey, dummy, go left, don't go off into the field there. But some of them do make sense more than others, but the intention's right. Plus, I think it does keep the trail and the greenery well separated, because some people do go off the trail and tear it up. This one is marked no motor vehicles, so it's kind of nice that way. I've seen one bicyclist, but mostly it's just people going for a little hike. Every time I stop, the dog checks to see what I'm doing. It's like, hey, what's the plan here? Oh, I should, speaking of the dog, one thing I do appreciate on trails is ones that make a loop. Because Mineral Ridge is marked one-way trail, which is kind of nice. But most times I've walked this trail, most people go the route that I'm going. Take the trail down the ridge to the water, which is Turtle Rock, and then take the gravel road back. And most people that go down to just fish or make a quick walk of it only stay on the trail. So one thing nice about that is I like to take my dog off leash. She's just a crazy little animal. But the nice thing about taking her off leash, if anybody else is walking the trail, they're going the same direction typically. And if they have their dog off leash, I never run into them, as long as we're going about the same pace, obviously. So kind of looking back into the meadows there. I think I'm going to keep this going, actually. I hadn't really thought about it, but I was going to stop at the little bit of a view there, but I think I'm at the 7-minute mark. This goes down a ridge, it goes up and down the hills pretty well from the parking lot. Then you get to this spot here. It's just a steeper little work down this little ridge to get down to the lake level. So I think I'm going to continue videoing down to the bottom of this little walking section. Hope I don't fall in my behind and make a mockery of myself. But what I'm thinking is if I take it to the bottom, which I guess you guys will see, then you can see the kind of the destination for this hike, which is water, no houses, no people around. A thing they call Turtle Rock, just a big rock, is kind of a good mark on the land down here. And a little quiet spot, so it's a pretty spot. So as I said, we're just working down this ridge. Oh, I should say, as I'm looking at the trail, occasionally there's horses on the trail, so I've yet to run into a horse, or people on horses, I should say. But every once in a while there's a little bit of horse manure, and I just consider that forest fertilizer, so kind of stating the obvious, but don't step in it. As far as logistics go, as I'm thinking about it, the main trailhead is marked. There's a parking lot, there's a map at the parking lot, there's a video camera and a light at the parking lot, so it's, in my opinion, very safe. Obviously don't leave your valuables in the car, the normal 9 cents, but I always feel comfortable dropping by here and leave my rig up. I never thought twice about it. I lock it, obviously, but I wouldn't leave a $100 bill in the dash type deal, but common sense, people. But I was going to say, from the normal trailhead parking lot, if you go south from the parking lot on the road that loops around the lake, you'll run into an intersection with Peninsula Drive. At Peninsula Drive, there's yet another trail stop. There's no parking there. I mean, there's no parking lot, but there's room to park along the side of the road. Probably enough room for 4 vehicles. But it's marked with a trailhead marker, and then there's another way to get down to this same place. We're going to be going to the spot where you cross here in a sec. But it's a nice hike down, and then it's a little shorter. It's about a mile down and a mile back up. It's a little steeper because you're going up to the road level, and it's from the bottom up to the top, and you're doing it a shorter distance, I should say. So it's a little steeper that way. But if you're making a shorter trip, which I do occasionally, I'll stop there and come on down, and I make that trip every once in a while. And I will say there is a loop you can make out of it. There's kind of a trail that snakes off to the right that makes it into a loop. It's worthwhile to make the loop. I've been doing that. So as I said, it's marked pretty well. Let me get around to this side. Not sure if this will show up in the video very well with the sun. But Turtle Rock is right ahead of us. And then it's 0.9 miles back to the trailhead. Bedrock Ridge is the trail I just came down. It's 1.2 miles back to the trailhead, so I guess it's a 2-mile loop. Excuse my over embellishing. And then Turtle Rock Peninsula Drive access is 0.9 miles back up. So I guess it's about the same distance from either direction. But like I said, you'll come out here if you take the Peninsula Drive trail. It's a pretty trail. It goes right through the forest as well. And then both of these trails, the one I was just on and the Peninsula Drive trail, end up on this road that we're on, which is just an old logging road. Don't mind my dog taking care of a number 2. It's off trail, so I'm going to let that one hang out along with the rest of the fertilizer. Pretty soon here, I'll be able to pan around and you can kind of see there's just an inlet here. Happy dog. She loves this walk. There's an inlet here. There's houses across the way to the other side. That's the tip of Peninsula Drive. And then I believe this used to be somebody's farm or homestead or farm area. And they donated it to the county or sold it to the county, whichever way, I'm not too sure. But with that, there's this little shop that's down here that's never used for anything. It's just down here. That I believe was the old property owners. Turtle Rock's in the middle of the picture there. We'll get closer to it. And this is looking south down the lake. Like I said, there's a little inlet there. We have a couple people fishing today. 2 boats, one straight ahead in the middle there. We'll see the other one here in a sec. And one thing I do like about the trail, just like a handful of other trails I like, there's a destination. So it's a nice place to get to and say, I made it. Here, you start at the parking lot in the forest and you end up down here next to the lake at this Turtle Rock point. And it's just a good place. The dog will get a drink here in a sec, which will be fun on camera as I'm thinking about it. I think we're 12 minutes in the video. I think I'm good. This will be one of my longer ones. I think I'll go to 15. I've noticed on videos on YouTube, I try to be conscious. 10 minutes is a long video for YouTube. Like I said, just a little inlet here. Lots of tadpoles coming up. A couple beer drinkers, fishermen. I always go by the size of the bellies. Big bellies, beer drinkers. Oh, a dog found the water. Does that feel good? Yes. Oh, and 2 people along the shore, probably fishing bass or pike. One out in the open, I'm not sure what he's fishing for. Like I said, that's the beer drinkers. They're probably not where the fish are. Shouldn't be too mean, but it's probably real. And this is looking again south down the lake. I'll walk up on the Turtle Rock here in a sec, but yeah, this is the kind of the win once you've made the 1.2 mile hike down. So looking due south, down lake, panning around. If you're coming here, the East Lake Drive goes past those houses and comes down to those field areas. There's kind of a back way to get into that area. And then this is panning around to the mountains. And then, like I said, if I was to pan around about to there, would be due north. And Mount Spokane's just a little bit east of due north from here. So I'm going to go around, walk up this rock real quick. Turtle Rock. Imagine it's Turtle Rock because there's turtles down here. But it kind of looks like it could be a turtle on a day. Let me get far enough back to see if I can think of why anybody would call it Turtle Rock. All right, panning back. Yeah, there's my dog, happy as always, and Turtle Rock. I just had a little trail going up from the main trail coming up and then coming up this backside. So we'll come up here, a little bit better view from up there. I think she's part goat, part lion, part Doberman Pinscher, the way she fights with other dogs when she gets her heart set on being mean. All right, top Turtle Rock. Like I said, a little bit better view from here. So I'm gonna do a little bit bigger pan. This is looking into that meadow. This is looking due south. We're looking at Peninsula Drive. There's a pretty long peninsula that pokes out to the side here. Looking across the lake, looking pretty much due east here. Like I said, few people fishing. Then this is the south, or the north end of the lake. This is where the water comes in from. And there's two large meadows, one straight ahead in the middle, and then one into this little area we're gonna walk by on the way out of here. All right, you ready to go, dog? Oh, all right. Heading down the hill. I think I'll go until I get to the gravel road up. 16 minutes. I am going long. Give me a record here. Well, if anybody's gone this far with me, thanks for hanging out with me. Again, Greater Spokane, just kind of taking a look at the world through my set of eyes and sharing. Like the video, share. If you want to subscribe, that would be wonderful. But again, this is the destination for the McKenzie Natural Trail Trailhead. Takes you down here to Turtle Rock, nice little hike. My last comment is always say to everybody in the world, don't tell anybody, it's our secret. Greater Spokane signing off. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.